This is Justin Goldman, and these are Justin's History Minutes. With Juneteenth upon us, recognizing this monumental day in our history is paramount. The NAACP has done wondrous things in recognizing this day, with celebrations amongst its branches all over the country. No matter what city you're in, you can find a Juneteenth celebration somewhere, and most of that is thanks to the NAACP. As we move back to some forms of normalcy, and we can actually unite and see people in some cases, it's important that we recognize the day's magnitude, but also realize that we must still continue to fight, educate, and advance ourselves. If the last 16 months has shown us anything, it's that there's still so much work to be done and progress to be had. Juneteenth, in some ways, is a microcosm for things today. Just as it took 2 years for the Emancipation Proclamation to hit Texas, there are other aspects of race relations that are still a work in progress. What the NAACP has done to highlight those issues is second to none, going back decades. The NAACP's ability to highlight what's important in our community, what we still need to fight for, and to educate people of all races and ages about the pillars of race relations, and some of the very important but not as known figures in the African American community is eternally important work that just keeps building year after year after year. Because of the NAACP and the continuing work it does to better the world, it makes having Juneteenth that much sweeter. This is Justin Goldman, and these are Justin's History Minutes.
Hey everyone, happy June 19th. My name is Mia Simone. I'm a singer, songwriter, and I just want to share 2 of my songs with you guys today, and I really hope you enjoy. So the first song is going to be called Worth More Than Gold. I really hope you enjoy. Thank you.
Feeling important, kicked out of the world, uninvited. Beauty reads, bright dreams, like the popular girl that talks to you, or the boy who invites you to eat it, 'cause he knows you sit alone. You are not alone. They try to hush us and say that we don't know what their life entails. But I'm just trying to help the world, trying to share my burdens. Yeah, I felt my share. I wanted to kill myself a dozen times, but it's my music that keeps me going. Yeah. Beauty in the sun keeps me shining. I'm so happy you're alive, dear. I'm happy that you're alive, dear. You're the blast to my own. No one can save you from yourself. The universe is God. She watches over us, guides us. Mediocre is non-existent in our essence. Created from divinity and melanin, you are the cause of division and pain, the cause of everything. I'm sorry you feel my pain, but it's not in vain. The world reaps rewards. Mother Earth is our prize. Treat her with respect, treat her like gold, and treat your body with respect. You are gold, you are gold. Found a honey, found a hunter, bounty hunter. Melanin costs $350 per gram. I'm saying that's more than gold. Why are we so ignored, yet a part of the plan? You're worth more than gold, literally. Love yourself, love the skin that you're in. Ashe, 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 ashe.
Thank you so much. Song is called Keep Your Head Up, and I want all of you to keep your head up.
Deliver me from this sin I made. Biblical oppression the world can't take. I see no reflection the world now made. Why can't I be perfect? Why can't I be sane? Why you look at me like I'm a peasant? Why you look at me like I'm a peasant? Why God look at me like a present? You are my mind like a bad thought. You are my brain like a cancer. Water runs through my eyes, I can't answer you. I don't know what's gotten through me as a little girl. Always sad, always crying, always singing to get through it. I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of this world. It's deep, the wound is deep. Life is so hard, but you'll figure it out, girl. You'll figure it out. Life is so hard, but you'll figure it out, girl. Figure it out, girl. Don't ever give up on your life. Don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. People want your spot, people want your spot. People see your potential, but they will never show you that they see your potential. They don't want you to see your potential. You better get up and fight, you better get up and fight. Cause this is your life, this is your life. And no matter what you do, you may never be good enough for the people that surround you. So you better keep your head up, you better keep your head up, yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to me. Once again, my name is Nia Simone, Niasimone, and you can find me on SoundCloud and Instagram at Nia_SM. I really hope you guys have a good day. Happy June 19th.
Edgar Degas, a famous French artist, once said, "Art is not what you see, but what you make others see," and his quote still resonates today. My name is Quintar DeJeunesse Sr., and I'm thankful for the NAACP's invitation to present some of my artwork to viewers like you. Just as great composers and arrangers have no idea how many people will hear their music or what emotions their music will evoke in the listener, so too, artists have no clue as to how many eyes will ever see their art, or what the viewer's eyes and hearts will ever experience. My hope is that when you see some of the images I've created, you behold something that makes the experience truly worthwhile for you. thank you for taking the time to visit my galleries. For the purpose of this presentation, this is only some of the artwork that is featured on my website. I invite you to go to artbyquinnproductions.org, where I hope the artwork I've created will make you see something that rouses your spirits, calms your soul, and inspires your mind. Thank you.
Hello once again. You've been watching the 156th annual Juneteenth celebration hosted by the Metuchen-Edison branch of the National Association of the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP, of course. Who doesn't know that, right? I'm Carissa Lawson, morning anchor of News 12 New Jersey, and today's virtual event would not be possible without significant funding from the Middlesex County Office of Arts and History. So a big thank you to them. We do have some people here with us. So can we have an applause so everybody can hear? Because it would not be possible without them at all.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Wait, was there something that I missed? Or were my people never included in this declaration from tyranny? This document opposing supremacy could yet make room for slavery? And the irony still sits at the core of this experiment in democracy, making today look like the pages of history. Pardon me, but I'm perplexed by the hypocrisy. To cry and fight for liberty, yet deny others their humanity, this is the insanity that runs deep in the heart of man. To exalt and promote oneself at the expense of someone else, to turn a brother into a slave? If his bondage is sure to pave the road to prosperity, wealth for one's posterity, and just for clarity, this depravity was always known to be wrong. Yet the leaders of the day did not stop it, compromising their morality for profit, sending a ripple of trauma throughout generations, from enslavement to Jim Crow to make America great again. We have seen America's darkest sin resurface again and again. So when will the church begin to take her place as an agent of justice? Not be afraid to touch this ministry of reconciliation, to speak truth to power and bring healing to a nation fractured by lies. When will we open our eyes to realize this tide of division will not subside if we simply abide within the walls of segregated calls to pray? We must roll up our sleeves, tear down divisions, and play an active role in healing the souls of the sons of slaves and slaveholders. We must shoulder the burden of this sacred charge, take decisive action, whether small or large, to ensure equity among men, to free our nation from this sin of dehumanization that keeps her from reaching her sacred declaration. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Please join in the singing of the Black National Anthem. Lift every voice and sing. Lift every voice and
wrapped in water. We have come treading the path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past till now we stand at last where the white gleam of our star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us far upon the way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places of God where we led thee, lest our hearts drunk with the wine of the world we forget thee. Shadowed beneath the hand, may we forever stand true to our God, true to our native land. Amen.
Happy Juneteenth. I'm Akia, and I'm one of the vice presidents of the Metuchen Edison Piscataway branch of the NAACP. I'll be one of your hosts today.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Devon. I'm an executive member of the Metuchen Edison Piscataway branch, and I'll be your other co-host for the event.
We'd like to welcome you to our 2021 annual Juneteenth celebration. Today, you'll see a variety of performances, including singing, dancing, and words of inspiration. We'd like to thank the Arts Institute of Middlesex County, New Brunswick Cultural Center, and New Brunswick Performing Arts Center, as well as AT&T for their sponsorship. In addition, we thank our surrounding NAACP branches of New Brunswick, Perth Amboy, and Plainfield, and Channel 12 for collaborating with us and making this possible.
Without further ado, please welcome our first guest, Chelsea Young, who will tell us why we celebrate Juneteenth.
Hello, my name is Chelsea Young, and I am a proud member of the Plainfield chapter of New Jersey Orators. Today, I am honored to be presenting a declamation statement for the NAACP Metuchen Edison's Juneteenth Recognition Program. On June 19, 1865, 2.5 years after President Abraham Lincoln's historic Emancipation Proclamation, U.S. Major General Granger issued General Order No. 3, which informed the people of Texas that all enslaved people were now free. Granger commanded the headquarters district of Texas, and his troops had arrived in Galveston the previous day. This day has come to be known as Juneteenth, a combination of June and 19th. It is also called Freedom Day or Emancipation Day, and it is the oldest known celebration commemorating the end of slavery in the United States. The official handwritten record of General Order No. 3 is preserved at the National Archives building in Washington, D.C. General Order No. 3 states, "The people of Texas are informed that in accordance with a proclamation from the Executive of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves, and the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor. The freedmen are advised to remain quietly at their present homes and work for wages. They are informed that they will not be allowed to collect at military posts and that they will not be supported in idleness, either there or elsewhere. This concludes this brief but substantially important section of General Order Number 3. Thank you, and thank you for joining us in our Juneteenth celebration.
And now we will have the Universal African Dance and Drum Ensemble.
Celebrating being Africans. You see, we start with the babies. We have to teach our young people about their culture, to be proud that you are of kings and queens. So, without further ado, put your hands together, man. Bring to the stage one more time the Universal African Ensemble.
Wow, we must be doing something right.
Some of you may know that President Abdoulaye Wade invited him to Senegal to represent the United States in December. And I want you to know that we appreciate you, your wife, your family, all the wonderful children. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please give another big.
No matter what race, creed, or color you are, you have a culture, and you should never be afraid or ashamed of celebrating who you are. So through that, performing arts, we teach that to young people of their culture. Like music is a universal language. So when you understand that, you have love, you have discipline, and you can make anything work. So that's our main focus of why we do it.
Now we have student Jewel Johnson from the Plainfield Performing Arts Oratory.
Joel Johnson, Hello, Goodbye, Peace, a comedic monologue by Gabrielle Davis. Have you ever heard the term latte factor? It means being destitute at retirement age because you bought too many lattes. But I think it's not an all-inclusive definition. Latte factor should also refer to the factor of humanity that is lost in the ordering. Joel Johnson, Hello, Goodbye, Peace, a comedic monologue by Gabrielle Davis. Have you ever heard the term latte factor? It means being destitute at retirement age because you bought too many lattes. But I think it's not an all-inclusive definition. Latte factor should also refer to the factor of humanity that is lost in the ordering of the lattes. Do you know what I mean? I want to change the world. I want all humankind to work as one team. I want poverty and hunger to be but a dream. But I don't want to be disappointed. After all, those are very big things. And I don't want to change myself. I'm just not the introspective type. And also, I'm perfect. No, I just want to change you. Because if everyone like me changed someone like you, we could all be globally perfect too. I wouldn't call myself a perfectionist. I don't like the words that end in ist. Fascist, racist, sadist. You may be all of those things. I don't know. I don't know you that well. I just know that the way you ordered your latte tells me you think very little of me, that you've dehumanized me. This is just an impersonal transaction, and I'm nothing more than an espresso making machine to you. But am I not human? If you cut me, would I not bleed espresso? No, I wouldn't. I'd bleed real blood. Duh. So when you order your double cap whip frappe, the least you could do is start by looking me in my eyes and say, "Hi, how are you?" "Good, thanks. And you?" "Good." There, that isn't so hard, right? Then you can tell me what you'll have. You want to talk with my manager? Well, I want to talk to the High Commissioner for Human Rights at the UN and report you for crimes against humanity. But we don't always get what we want, do we? Also, I'm the manager here, the store manager. And today happens to be my last day. Oh, I'm going to work on Wall Street as a portfolio manager. I figure the first step in changing the system is climbing to the top of it. Here's your coffee.
Next, we have a dance from Leah Hayes.
Hi everyone, happy Juneteenth. My name is Leah Haynes. I'm a rising junior at Temple University where I study both dance and Africology. So a little background about my dance is that it tells the story about the Haitian Revolution, but most importantly about the ceremony called Boy Came On. Most people confuse it for a voodoo ritual. However, it is not that. I want to let everyone know that it is not voodoo. It's just a sacred ceremony that really gathered everyone together in one central spot at nighttime where they did a lot of dancing, singing, and songs, but they were really getting themselves united to overthrow the French. This ceremony is super important because without this, they wouldn't have had the strength to overthrow the French, and we wouldn't have had any success in the US. So that's why I really wanted to take the time out to really discuss and share this part of history, particularly on Juneteenth. So within this dance, you'll see a lot of West African influence, particularly a lot of the moves come from Ghana, like the Central region. Most importantly, you'll see that because it has a lot of warlike moves, and I really wanted to incorporate those moves because we're really symbolizing what it feels like to get ready for war. We may not have felt it then, but we are kind of trying to bring it to life now So without further ado, I present to you Boy Came On, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you.
Now we have Jadriel Beniquez, another Plainfield Performing Arts student.
Jadriel Beniquez, Prologue from Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. I am an invisible man. No, I am not a spook like those who haunted Edgar Allan Poe, nor am I one of your Hollywood movie ectoplasms. No, I'm a man of substance, of flesh and bone, fiber and liquids, and I might even be said to possess a mind. I'm invisible, understand? Simply because people refuse to see me. Like the bodiless heads you see in circus sideshows, it is as though I've been surrounded by mirrors of hard, distorting glass. When they approach me, they see only themselves, their surroundings, or figments of their imagination. Indeed, everything and anything except me. Nor is my invisibility exactly a matter of a biochemical accident to my epidermis. That invisibility to which I refer occurs because of a peculiar disposition of the eyes of those with whom I come in contact. A matter of the construction of their inner eyes, those eyes with which they look through their physical eyes upon reality. I am not complaining, nor am I protesting either. It is sometimes advantageous to be unseen, although it is most often rather wearing on the nerves. Then too, you're constantly being bumped against by those of poor vision. Or again, you often doubt if you really exist. You wonder whether you aren't simply a phantom in other people's minds. Say, a figure in a nightmare which the sleeper tries with all his strength to destroy. It's when you feel like this, that out of resentment, you begin to bump people back, and let me confess, you feel that way most of the time. You ache with the need to convince yourself that you do exist in the real world, that you're part of all the sound and anguish, and you strike out with your fists. You curse and you swear to make them recognize you, and alas, it's seldom successful.
Next, we have Gospel from Ron Foster. we have a word from Glenn Benson.
Habari Gani, which is Swahili for what is the news? Or as Brother Marvin Gaye would say, what's going on? Or on the corner, they might say, what's up? So Habari Gani. I would like to thank the NAACP for inviting me to participate in the Juneteenth celebration of 2021. My name is Reverend Glenn Benson, and I'm the pastor of New Jerusalem City of God Church Without Walls. We meet every Sunday at 11 o'clock on Zoom, and our Zoom link can be obtained from the organizers of this program. So in honor of our ancestors, I would like to offer up this presentation entitled Black Lives Matter Too. Black Lives Matter Too. We're celebrating the hope and the culmination of all the prayers and the aspirations that became realized, even though delayed, in the subsequent release of the Texas slaves. I wonder now, as I sit here today, what it must have felt like to have gotten the news that after being treated like dogs, fed less than hogs, and now receiving the understanding that you're free. And not only receiving that understanding, receiving the news that you're free 2.5 years later after everyone else has been freed. The Emancipation Proclamation had been signed in 1863. In fact, the Civil War was over. Abraham Lincoln was dead and buried in his grave. And now you get the news that you have been set free. I imagine, what would it feel like to be sitting in their seats, walking in their shoes at that moment? I'm sure that there was excitement, jubilation, but after that passed, there had to have been moments of anger. There had to have been moments of intense pain over the injustice of having been kept in bondage 2.5 years longer than everyone else. So with that thought in mind, I can imagine that our ancestors actually wondered, do Black Lives Matter? Do Black Lives Matter too? Because in order for you to enslave anybody, you have to first dehumanize them. You have to turn them into an object. And that's what Black people have suffered under ever since they arrived on these shores 400 years ago. Black Lives Matter too, posed as a rhetorical question, not in the way that we're hearing it in the news today. It's posed as a rhetorical question in this presentation, because when one sees the lives that have been slaughtered, like George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, little Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, we have to wonder, do Black lives really matter too? And therefore, I've gone into the Bible to recognize that there's an historical perspective that brings light to this question. In John chapter 15, Jesus, a Black man who was publicly murdered, publicly executed in what I would call a lynching, and knowing that his execution was coming up, he told his disciples as he was leaving them, he says, if the world hates you, know that it has hated me before it hated you. But I've chosen you out of the world. Therefore, the world hates you. If they persecuted me, they will also persecute you. But all these things they will do to you on account of my name, because they do not know him who sent me. Whoever hates me hates my Father also. And now they have both seen me and hated me and my Father. But the word that is written in their law must be fulfilled. They hated me without a cause. Beloved, prophecy is what Jesus the Christ, the black man, was talking about. And I call him a black man because that's the way he's described in the book of Revelations. He's described as a man with hair like lamb's wool and feet like burned polished brass. And God is described in the book of Ezekiel as an auburn-colored being who sits on a throne. From his head down to his toes, he is amber-colored, an amber-colored God, beautiful brown. And the first man, the very first man, was made from the dust of the earth. Now, when you pose that question, what color is dirt? You come up with an answer. That dirt ranges from very dark brown to very rich black. So the first man that was ever created was a black man. The original man was a black man. And Jesus is telling us, if they hated him, another black man, they're going to hate you. If they persecuted him, they're going to persecute you. So this persecution of Black lives is historic. It has a historic and a biblical perspective. But what we have to also understand is that there's another perspective as well. And that perspective is love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself because the world won't love you. You got to learn how to appreciate who you are, created in God's image. When God said, let us make man and let us make him in our image, he thought of you and me. So we celebrate our ancestors by recognizing that when they were freed, they didn't have time to think about the anger over the injustice that they were suffering. They didn't have time to go back and say, I'm going to get those individuals who have mistreated me so horribly. They only had time to pick up and get up and go find their loved ones, mothers who had been snatched away from their children, fathers who had seen their families just scattered to the wind, husbands who had been separated from their wives. They only had time to say, I got to find the one who I love. And that's what we need to do in these times in which we live. We need to find the love within ourselves for our community, for each other. Because within that love for each other, we find the strength to move forward in these troubling times. Yes, Black lives do matter. They've always mattered. And what we have to recognize is that we matter to God first. I've come up with a program, a poem that I'd like, that I want to leave you with. It's by Maya Angelou. And it goes like this. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may tread me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Because I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of times. Just like hope springing eternally high, still like air, I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by soulful cries. Does my heartiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, because I laugh like I got gold mines, digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from the past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I am a black ocean, leaping and wide. Welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I and you are the dream and the hope of the slave. We rise, we rise, we rise. Beloved, I wish you the best on this Juneteenth celebration of 2021.
Now, we have a song from Alicia Cutting.
Good morning or evening, friends. Here's your friendly announcer. I have serious news to pass on to everybody. What I'm about to say could mean the world's disaster. Could turn our joy and laughter into tears and pain. Is that love's in need of love today? Oh, don't delay. Send yours in right away. Because hate's going round, oh, breaking many hearts. Oh, stop it, please, before it goes too far. Ooh, love's in need, love's in need. The force of evil plans to make you its possession. And it will if we let it destroy everybody. We all must take precautionary measures. In love and peace we treasure. Won't you hear me when I say that love's in need? Oh, I love today. Oh, don't delay. Please send it in right away. Hate's going round, oh, it's breaking many hearts. Oh, stop it, please, before we've gone too far. Oh, don't you know love's in need? Love's in need of love today. Love's in need of love today. Send it in right away. I know my history. I am my ancestors. Send yours in right away. Love's in need of love today. Peace and blessings.
And now, we will have an awards segment hosted by News 12's Carissa Lawson, as well as Reggie Johnson, current president of the Metuchen Edison Piscataway branch of the NAACP.
So we certainly hope you've been enjoying the incredible performances so far, celebrating this day in American history. I mean, these performances have been so fantastic. I mean, we've been in here rocking, you know, on our head. It's been great. So I'm here now with the president of the NAACP Metuchen Edison branch, Reggie Johnson, and I've known him for several years now, and it's been just a wonderful collaboration. So please say a few words.
Okay,
please.
thank you very much. Okay, sure. Thank you very much. On behalf of the Metuchen Edison area branch of the NAACP, I'd like to welcome you all for being here. This has been a labor of love, and we've been doing Juneteenth celebrations for a number of years. So we're really glad that Carissa had taken time to come down here and host this. And I'd like to thank the audience for supporting us. And I'd like to acknowledge a few people. You'll see them as we go along. We have a whole team of people who have helped put this together. Akia, can you come forward? Devon, can you come go? Brianne, can you come forward? Let's give them a round of applause. Crystal, come forth. Alicia, come on. Let's give it, Tracy.
Sarah in there too.
Am I missing anyone?
Sarah.
Sarah, yes, come on, Sarah.
Oh, no, you're good.
You go, okay. Again, I'd like to thank you very much. This team has made it happen. So again, enjoy the rest of the day. Okay, thank you.
So right now we're entering the award segment of our program where we will recognize some of the best students in the area. First, I'd like to welcome to the stage a few of today's funders from the Middlesex Arts and History Commission, followed by AT&T.
Hello everyone, I'm Isha Vyas, Division Head in the Arts Institute of Middlesex County, Division of Arts and History. Today, as we commemorate the 155th anniversary of the ending of slavery in the United States, I want to wish you all a very happy Juneteenth. I'd like to recognize the NAACP Metuchen Edison Piscataway branch, and especially its president, Mr. Reggie Johnson, and his associates for their contribution in making this an official holiday across the country. NAACP has been celebrating Juneteenth for several years by presenting educational and cultural programs, as well as the accomplishments and achievements of African Americans in various fields. I'm so pleased to note that Middlesex County has been a partner in those celebrations. So, in keeping up with the tradition, we continue to offer our support and wish everyone a fantastic Freedom Day.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Urban, Director of the Arts Institute of Middlesex County. We are thrilled to be celebrating Juneteenth, especially on this historic year. Thank you to our partners at the NAACP, as well as all the other folks who have come together to make this event such a success.
gotta come closer. All right. Who wants to start? Okay. All right. It's our pleasure to be here at the Juneteenth celebration with the NAACP. My name is Joyce Henry. I'm with AT&T. And I am the National Skills Director of the network, and I also support the programming committee, and I'm a former president of the network New York, New Jersey, and I'd like to introduce Jackie Jackson.
Hello, I'm Jackie Jackson. I'm a director at AT&T in the Retail Operations Group, and I've been partnering with the NAACP over the past 6 years, mentoring students on the value of STEM education. I just want to say it's been our honor at AT&T to partner with Reggie Johnson and the NAACP Metuchen chapter. It's been a wonderful experience, and we've seen today the fruits of our labor, that students are moving forward with their education and studying in STEM.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Elizabeth Dunn, also from AT&T, part of the employee group that provides a lot of support to the NAACP through various programs, whether it be a STEM program or tutoring, mentoring. We are available to support the community.
I'd like to thank you for this time. And over the 6 years that we've been supporting the NAACP, AT&T has provided a grant of totaling $43,000 during that 6-year period. In addition, the network, which is an employee resource group arm of the AT&T family, we have provided about 5 scholarships to the students who have been a part of this STEM program. They have come to AT&T and they have looked at our NOC facility, and they've also gone to our Piscataway facility where we have had engineers from our various groups across New Jersey to come in and teach students about what actual engineers do every day as STEM workers.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add, we're excited to participate today in this Juneteenth celebration because really education is one of the freedoms that we have. And we're excited that our students are embracing it because there's a lot of opportunity, as Martin Luther King said, that comes through education. So we're excited at AT&T to partner with Reggie and the NAACP Metuchen chapter to continue building and developing our youth.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Well, we will now recognize a few of the NAACP's recent STEM students who have gone above and beyond, inside and outside of school. The following students will be receiving, listen to this, a $650 scholarship from the MEAB NAACP. Wonderful. First up, Shreya Chinthalapudi. Now, Shreya has sent in a video actually to say thank you as she could not be here today. So let's watch.
Pooty, and I'm a senior at John P. Stevens High School. Thank you to everyone from the NAACP and especially to Mrs. MacArthur and Mr. Roos for this amazing and generous scholarship. The NAACP has been a part of my life since the summer after my freshman year with its many programs like the Students Stepping into STEM and the Environmental Ambassadors. I will be pursuing a career in STEM at NJIT's Honors College. Thank you so much again.
Congratulations to her. So next, receiving the $650 scholarship, we have Nubia Finklin and Jonita Abdullah. Congratulations. Don't spend it all in one place now. Congratulations to you both. They would like to say something, so come on, of course. Your shining moment.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nubia Finklin. I am a youth member of the NAACP Edison Metuchen branch, and I'm also a recent graduate at Piscataway Township High School. First off, I want to say thank you to Carissa MacArthur, the NAACP Summer STEM program, and the AT&T for these opportunities. Without them, I wouldn't be here today, and I wouldn't have done the extraordinary things that I was able to accomplish in high school, which includes speaking at my recent graduation. I plan to attend the next 4 years around the corner at Rutgers, New Brunswick, a part of their School of Arts and Sciences and a part of their honors college. I will be majoring in statistics and minoring in business and technical writing. Again, my name is Nubia Finklin, and thank you for the opportunity.
Hello, my name is Jonita Abdullah, and first off, I would like to say thank you for the NAACP Metuchen Edison branch for the scholarship. Because of this branch and the Summer STEM program, I've been given many opportunities that I'm grateful for, expanding my knowledge about the STEM field, and most importantly, meeting amazing people, including Ms. MacArthur. This truly means a lot, so thank you.
Congratulations to you both. Congratulations. Wonderful. Up next, the NAACP would like to recognize 2 students from Edison High School who have been awarded scholarships for overcoming challenges and succeeding. Jordan Lovett and Marissa O'Dall, and also Ayana Slacum of New Brunswick High School. Actually, that would make 3 students. So 2 from Edison High School and 1 from New Brunswick High School. Okay, she's gonna say something.
All right. I would like to say hello, everyone. My name is Ayana Slacum, and I'm from New Brunswick High School, a graduating senior. I would like to say thank you to Mr. Johnson and the Juneteenth committee for allowing me to have this scholarship. I really appreciate it, and it's gonna help so much. I'll be heading off to Albright College in the fall and to study communications for public relations and advertising.
Ooh. Congratulations, congratulations. There are some pretty talented students today that we are giving some awards to. This is fantastic. Finally, the NAACP would like to recognize 2 recent college graduates, Charity Onwuchekwa and Devon Pender, for their outstanding achievements. So Charity could not be here in person, sent in a video. We're gonna play that first? Okay, we're gonna play that first. So let's hear from Charity right now.
Onwuchekwa. I'm from Edison, New Jersey, and I'm a May 2021 graduate of Howard University. I graduated with my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing with honors, magna cum laude. I also became an initiate of the International Honor Society for Nursing, Sigma Theta Tau. I've accepted my full-time job offer at Georgetown University Hospital, working as a neuroscience registered nurse. Throughout my time at Howard, I've had many amazing opportunities to be involved in different organizations, such as the National Black Nurses Association, the National Council for Negro Women Howard University chapter, and being a Howard University student ambassador, amongst many more. I cannot mention my journey at Howard without mentioning the support I received from the Metuchen Edison NAACP. At the end of my senior year of high school, the chapter awarded me a scholarship to attend Howard University. Throughout my time at Howard, I've stayed in contact and involved in the Metuchen-Edison NAACP events, such as my participation in the Juneteenth event and the College STEM program. I want to express my immense gratitude for the support that this chapter, and especially Mrs. MacArthur, has showed me throughout my college experience, and also the support that this chapter has given me to launch my career.
Congratulations to them. We do want to give this to Devon. Here you go. Congratulations.
Thank you to the Metuchen-Edison Piscataway area chapter of the NAACP for this opportunity. I grew up with this chapter. I call it my family, my home, and they've supported me my entire life. And I received my Associates of Science in Business Administration from Middlesex College, and I will be furthering my education at Rutgers University, pursuing a bachelor's in accounting. Thank you so much.
All right, so.
All right, everyone, I am extremely pleased and honored to be giving this award to Carissa Lawson. And I will read it so everyone can hear. In recognition of a journalist of integrity and character who reports with insight and clarity in the face of political and economic pressures, in celebration of a performance that inspires public trust in the media, in appreciation of a lifetime dedicated to combating prejudice and violence and progressing the fight for African American equality in America. So it is my honor to say thank you, Carissa, for all that you do and who you are and the figure that you are to people like me. With that, I'd like to turn this over to our education chair, Crystal MacArthur, who will be also giving an award to Reverend Dr. Leonard Bethel. Stay tuned.
So we're here in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, with one of our illustrious members of the community, and we want to honor him today. So we're here with Dr. Leonard Bethel, and Dr. Bethel, we have a plaque that we want to bestow upon you for your outstanding community service, for your work with students over these many years. And so the plaque reads as follows: the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the Metuchen-Edison Piscataway Area Branch, would like to bestow upon you today the W.E. Du Bois Living Legend Award. And it says, is proudly presented to Reverend Dr. Leonard L. Bethel, Professor Emeritus, Rutgers University, and in recognition of one who has demonstrated exceptional service to our community, for making significant contributions to the America's diverse cultural, spiritual, and social community, a man who embraces, triumphs, and paves the way to achievement for Americans of African descent. So it is my pleasure to do this on behalf of the president of our branch, Reginald Johnson. Congratulations,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Bethel. At this time, you can say 15 seconds worth.
Well, I appreciate this award and coming from an organization that I know about, the NAACP and the branch in New Jersey, and very appreciative of this award and this beautiful award, and hope I can continue to live up to its standards and expectations.
And you owe part of it to your wife.
As we move forward. And I thank you for Crystal MacArthur and members of the NAACP chapter for doing this, presenting this to me, and I appreciate it very, very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you. I am proudly displaying this wonderful T-shirt that represents 77 students that we've reached for the past 6 years with students stepping into STEM. And it could not have been done without the support and encouragement of the AT&T staff people. This has been a wonderful program, and I think that it's unique in that it allows students to explore various areas. So they learn not only about engineering, but they learn about the environment. They learn about many different fields, genetics, and the sciences in the STEM field. So we're so proud of all of our graduates. They've gone on to do wonderful things. And the wonderful part is they keep in touch. You know, it's a wonderful program. We're offering this program again this year with the support of AT&T. It is virtual, but we're still accepting applications. We have a few spots left. So if you're interested, you know, send an email to me, crystalmacarthur@gmail.com, and I'd love to hear from you. So thank you and congratulations to all, and thank you, AT&T.
Lastly, concluding the awards section of the program, I'd like to give a certificate to our leader and president of the Metuchen Edison branch, Reggie Johnson.
Surprise!
Surprise! This man does it all, and he deserves all the applause and more than we could give. The executive board of the Metuchen Edison Piscataway area branch of the NAACP recognizes Reginald Johnson with this award for more than 30 years of serving as president of the branch. It is your dedicated and outstanding service and commitment that has kept this branch a vital and active member of the community. As you turn over the reins to a new generation, we simply say thank you, Reggie. Thank you for everything you've done. You truly have made a difference.
I'd just like to say that it's been 33 years and half of my executive committee wasn't even born when I first became president of the NAACP. And I'm going to be turning this over soon to their hands. So God bless them and God bless all of you for your support.
So on that wonderful note, right, for Reggie to speak, we certainly hope you have enjoyed today's show. It's, you know, such a shame that we had to do it virtually, but I think it worked out really beautifully. Next year, we'll be back bold and beautiful. God willing, in person, and everybody healthy and strong. This has been a great celebration of success in our local community. Juneteenth, right? Congratulations again to all of our award recipients, and enjoy the rest of the program. Thank you so much.
She was a large woman with a large purse that had everything in it but a hammer and nails. It had a long strap, and she carried it slung across her shoulder. It was about 11 o'clock at night, and she was walking alone when a boy ran up behind her and tried to snatch her purse. The strap broke with a single tug the boy gave it from behind, but the boy's weight and the weight of the purse combined caused him to lose his balance, so instead of taking off full blast, as he had hoped, the boy fell on his back on the sidewalk and his legs flew up. The large woman simply turned around and kicked him right square in his blue jean sitter. Then she reached down, picked the boy up by his shirt front, and shook him until his teeth rattled. After that, the woman said, "Pick up my pocketbook, boy, and give it here." She still held him, but she bent down enough to permit him to stoop and pick up her purse. Then she said, "Now ain't you ashamed of yourself?" Firmly gripped by his shirt front, the boy said, "Yes'm." The woman said, "What did you want to do it for?" The boy said, "I didn't aim to." She said, "You a lie." By that time, 2 or 3 people passed, stopped, turned to look, and some stood watching. "If I turn you loose, will you run?" asked the woman. "Yes'm," said the boy. "Then I won't turn you loose," said the woman. She did not release him. "I'm very sorry, lady, I'm sorry," whispered the boy. "And your face is dirty. I got a great mind to wash your face for you. Ain't you got nobody at home to tell you to wash your face?" "No'm," said the boy. "Then it will get washed this evening," said the large woman, starting up the street, dragging the frightened boy behind her. He looked as if he were 14 or 15, frail and willow-wild in tennis shoes and blue jeans. The woman said, "You ought to be my son. I would teach you right from wrong. Least I could do right now is to wash your face. Are you hungry?" "No," said the boy. "I just want you to let me loose." "Was I bothering you when I turned that corner?" asked the woman. "No'm." "But you put yourself in contact with me," said the woman. "If you think that that contact is not going to last a while, you got another thought coming. When I get through with you, sir, you are going to remember Mrs. Luella Bates Washington Jones." Mrs. Luella Bates Washington Jones, straight lace. Mrs. Luella Bates Washington Jones, kind Mrs. Luella Bates Washington Jones, full of wisdom. Mrs. Luella Bates Washington Jones, full of grace. Let's slow it down right there, fellas. Mrs. Luella Bates Washington Jones, I've been thinking about you. Mrs. Luella Bates Washington Jones, there's a je ne sais quoi about you. Mrs. Luella Bates Washington Jones, I've been thinking about you. Mrs. Luella Bates Washington Jones, Washington Jones.
Now introducing Hawaiian history from Barry Kealoha.
Pauku umikumalua. A ole loa e noho kaua kua paa ke kahi kanaka mā lalo o ke kahi mā ko Hawaii. Article 12. Slavery shall under no circumstances whatever be tolerated in the Hawaiian Islands. Whenever a slave shall enter Hawaiian territory, he shall be free. No person who imports a slave or slaves into the king's dominions shall ever enjoy any civil or political rights in this realm. But involuntary servitude for the punishment of crime is allowable according to law. Constitution and laws of His Majesty Kamehameha III, King of the Hawaiian Islands, passed by the nobles and representatives at their session, 1852.
Aloha kako! My name is Barry K. Aloha. I am a New York City-based performer of Hawaiian heritage, and it is my pleasure to share with you today some of the history of the islands for such an important holiday. Now, Hawaii is probably not the first place you think of when you think of somewhere that has strong ties to Juneteenth, but I promise you there is a lot more there than you might expect. And I appreciate the opportunity to share with you some of this history for the celebration. So I wanted to start by sharing that excerpt from the Constitution of 1852, primarily because of the year it was ratified. 1852 was 9 years before the outbreak of civil war in America and 41 years before the American business interests would overthrow the Kingdom of Hawaii, making second-class citizens out of the indigenous population. So the great King Kamehameha III put down in writing an unequivocal stance against slavery of any kind in his country. It was passed in 1852, which was the same year that Frederick Douglass, who actually had spoken on the oppression of indigenous Hawaiians himself, delivered his famous "What to the Slave is the 4th of July" speech. So just to kind of give you a context of when all of these things were happening. So despite the presence of those questionable sugar barons in the islands, Hawaii never became a slave state. In fact, it did not even become a state until 1959. And although Hawaii declared itself a free territory, very few enslaved people could afford to make the journey across the Pacific to the islands to be recognized as free people. So because of that, today, the Black population in Hawaii is only about 3%, due mostly to former ship workers from Portuguese colonies, from the Caribbean, from the States, as well as the children of American servicemen who were stationed in Hawaii over World War II. But even though the African diaspora in the islands is small, it is proud and it is very vocal. If any of you remember the show that I did last summer, Island Girl, I spoke at length about the racial struggles of the Native Hawaiian population against European colonization, both back in the 1700s up into today, and how indigenous activists have been reclaiming heritage and culture after centuries of oppression. So you would think that the Black population would find solidarity with the indigenous population, right? Yes, is the short answer, but because the Black population is so small, it's sort of harder for their voices to be heard. But that is changing, and especially as of June of 2020, at that point, Hawaii was the only one of the 50 states that had no formal recognition of Juneteenth. Now, the city of Honolulu and a couple other cities across the islands did unofficially celebrate it, but that was solely at the request of activists who sort of put their own thing together. So Hawaiians are looking to rectify this situation, thanks in large part to Samantha Nayland, who was crowned the very first African-American Miss Hawaii USA back in 2020, as well as the Popolo Project, which is a Hawaiian activist group that was founded in 2015 by Dr. Akiemi Glenn, and it's dedicated to the causes of racial justice for the Black Kama'aina, the Black citizens of Hawaii across the islands. Dr. Glenn said in an interview, "It is important to note that the city takes this step as the world is erupting in an unprecedented global call for justice for Black people, connecting this moment to 1852, when Hawaii enshrined in its constitution an affirmation that Black lives matter on this aina because they matter everywhere." How fantastic is that? So because of these efforts to make Juneteenth an official state holiday in Hawaii, Governor David Ige is set to officially sign that recognition into law via Senate Bill 939, which would make Hawaii the 49th state to officially recognize the date. Get it together, South Dakota. Dr. Glenn's organization, the Popolo Project, is significant not only for bringing attention to Black causes throughout the islands, but also for its name. In Hawaii, popolo has long been a slang term for Black folks, named for the dark purple popolo berries of the la'au plant, which is used in traditional Hawaiian medicine. It's not necessarily a derogatory term, but Dr. Glenn deliberately chose that name to reclaim its power and to unite the diaspora, who had often felt overlooked in the islands. So this othering comes from the exact same place as where colorism comes throughout the world. And it has been a major fight to normalize all the beautiful colors that can be found throughout the islands. So, with that in mind, I would like to share one of my favorite songs. It is a Cyndi Lauper classic with a bit of a Hawaiian twist, courtesy of the fantastic Hawaiian recording artist Anuhea. So, Ha'olila umikumaiwa u'ione, happy Juneteenth, and may your true colors always shine through.
You with the sadness, don't be discouraged, do I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it. All the darkness inside you makes you feel so small, but I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors are beautiful, like a rainbow. E oli hoi e, vai olu mau ai ha'upu ole ia. E oli oli ai, holo a hoi oe. E awa mo ia e pili kaua makaua e pili ai. And I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors. Henanie, henanie. When this world makes you crazy and you're taking all you can bear, just call me up, 'cause I will always be there. And I see your true colors shining through. Pu'ano ku'i'o, hua'a e ke aloha, e hia ole ai, ho'ili mai. Your true colors, your true colors, ko'ano ku'i'o are shining through. And I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors, your true colors. Henani like a rainbow.
Next, we shall overcome.
We shall overcome.
Up next, we have Quintara DeGenis.
There's too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Father, Father, we don't need to escalate. You see, war is not the answer. Only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Picket lines, sister, and picket signs, sister. Don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me so you can see. Oh, what's going on? 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 Mother, mother, everybody thinks we're wrong. Oh, but who are they to judge us just because our hair is long? You know we've got to find a way to bring some understanding here today. Picket lines, brother, picket signs, brother. Don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see. Oh, what's going on? 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 Picket lines, brother, and picket signs, brother. Don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see. Oh, what's going on? 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 What's going on?
Now, we have a Plainfield Performing Arts student.
Desiree Anderson, Let America Be America Again by Langston Hughes. Let America be America again. Let it be the dream it used to be. Let it be the pioneer on the plains seeking a home where he himself is free. America never was America to me. Let America be the dream the dreamers dreamed. Let it be the great strong land of love where never kings connive nor tyrants scheme, that any man be crushed by the one above. It was never America to me. Oh, let my land be a land where liberty is crowned with no false patriotic wreath. But opportunity is real and life is free. Equality is in the air we breathe. There was never any equality for me, nor freedom in this homeland of the free. Say, who are you that mumbles in the dark? And who are you that draws your veil across the stars? I am the poor white, fooled and pushed apart. I am the Negro bearing slavery scars. I am the red man, driven from the land. I am the immigrant clutching the hope I seek and finding only the same old stupid plan of dog eat dog, of mighty crush the weak. I am the young man full of strength and hope, tangled in that ancient endless chain of profit, power, and gain, of grab the land, of grab the gold, of grab the ways of satisfying need, of work the men, of take the pay, of owning everything for one's own greed. I am the farmer, bondsman to the soil. I am the worker sold to the machine. I am the Negro, servant to you all. I am the people, humble, hungry, mean, hungry yet today, despite the dream, beaten yet today. Oh, pioneers, I'm the man who never got ahead, the poorest worker bartered through the years. Yet I'm the one who dreamt our basic dream. In the old world while still a serf of kings who dreamt a dream so strong, so brave, so true that even yet its mighty daring sings in every brick and stone and every furrow turned. That's made America the land it has become. Oh, I'm the man who sailed those early seas in search of what I meant to be my home. For I'm the one who left dark Ireland's shores in Poland's plain and England's grassy lea. And torn from black Africa's strand, I came to build the homeland of the free. The free? Who said the free? Not me. Surely not me. The millions on relief today? The millions shot down when we strike? The millions who have nothing for our pay? For all the dreams we've dreamed and all the songs we sung and all the hopes we've held and all the flags we've hung. The millions who have nothing for our pay, except the dream that's almost dead today. Oh, let America be America again. The land that never has been yet, and yet must be. The land where every man is free. The land that's mine, the poor man's, the Indians, the Negroes, me, who made America, whose sweat and blood, whose faith and pain, whose hand at the foundry, whose plow in the rain, must bring back our mighty dream again. Sure, call me any ugly name you choose. The steel of freedom does not stain. From those who live like leeches on the people's lives, we must take back our land again, America. Oh yes, I say it plain. America never was America to me. And yet I swear this oath, America will be, out of the rack and ruin of our gangster death, the rape and rot of graft and stealth and lies. We the people must redeem the land, the mines, the plants, the rivers, the mountains and the endless plain, all the stretch of these great green states, and make America again.
Next, we have the branch's very own Keith Voos, who will speak about the Environmental Ambassadors Program.
Hello, my name is Keith Voos. I am the chair of the Environmental Justice Committee of our branch and the mentor for the Environmental Ambassadors Program, which is composed of high school students who are concerned about the fate of the earth and are determined to do something about it. I would first like to introduce you to a former member of the Environmental Ambassadors Program, Juneteenth Abdullahi, who is on my far right.
Hi, my name is Juneteenth Abdullahi. I'm currently a senior at Piscataway High School. Once I graduate, I plan to study public health. Because of this program, I had the opportunity to meet with Ms. Osmond, who works with Congresswoman Bonnie Bossman-Colbert.
Thank you, Janita. Janita made wonderful contributions to the program, and we know that she will continue to make wonderful contributions to whatever causes she gives herself to. My next introduction is to Ruhi Warhol, who is an incoming environmental ambassador.
Hi, my name is Juhi Rawal. I joined the Environmental Ambassador Program because I feel it is our responsibility to take care of the community and world around us.
Thank you, Ruby. And last but not least, Ria Patel.
Hi, my name is Ria Patel, and I'm a current junior at Piscataway High School. I'm really excited to be a part of this Environmental Ambassador Program because I wanted to get more involved in the community, and I thought this would be a great way to do that. I also hope to spread more awareness about environmental problems to people in our community and hopefully resolve them.
Thank you very much. This will not be the last you hear from these two young women. Stay tuned to the Metuchen Edison Piscataway area branch of the NAACP, and you'll learn a lot from them.
And now a musical presentation from Aurelia Williams.
Hello and happy Juneteenth to you all. My name is Aurelia Williams, and today I wanted to present something that I thought really embodied the spirit of Juneteenth. It's all about liberation and freedom, and sometimes I think the best display of that is by showing who you authentically are. When you can be your authentic self, you are free. And I thought someone who really demonstrated that in an amazing way was the poet Margaret Walker. A friend of mine, Randy Klein, was reading some of her poetry and was inspired to compose music to her poetry. And Margaret Walker was an incredible storyteller. And she would tell stories about her experiences, people that she knew, people that she loved, people that she didn't like all that much, but it was all about her being her authentic self and feeling free to share that. So without further ado, I'm going to bring to you a few excerpts from the piece For My People by Randy Klein and Margaret Walker.
To hear them singing melodies in the stars. I want to catch the last floating strains from their soft torn throats. I want to frame their dreams into words, their souls into notes. I want to catch their sunshine, laughter in a bowl. Fling dark hands up to darker skies and fill them full of stars. Then crush and mix such lights till they become a mirrored pool of brilliance in the when I see you bending over something rare, like music or a painting or a book, and see within your eyes that vacant stare, and halfway understand that pleading look.
I cannot help but bitterly detest the age and men that made you what you are, who robbed you of your all, your ample best, and left you seeking life across this hateful bar, and left you vainly searching for a star. Your soul appreciates but cannot understand. I like it here just fine, and I don't want no bear. My sister's here, my mother's here, and all my girlfriends too. I want my rights. I'm fighting for my rights. I want to be treated just like everybody else. I want to be treated just like anybody else. I like it fine in jail, and I don't want no bail.
Finally, we'll hear from Professor Bill Davis of Rutgers University on the importance of Juneteenth.
Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth. For those of you who don't know, Juneteenth came about June 19th, 1865. And I want to do a little history about Juneteenth, a little history about slavery, and a little history about New Jersey. And so Juneteenth, General Granger went to Galveston, Texas, at which point there was still several hundred of our ancestors working on a plantation to say that slavery was over. And when our ancestors found that slavery was over, they had a celebration, which is how the Juneteenth celebration came into existence. But I want to point out a few facts. One is that the 13th Amendment, which was passed in 1865, technically ended slavery, although there's a clause in it that says for people that are incarcerated. And then when the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, January 1st, it was written in September 1862, but didn't go into effect until January 1st, 1863. So we go from January 1st, 1863, when the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, and it was signed primarily for military reasons, to keep the French and the British out of the war, and thousands of our ancestors, hearing about the Emancipation Proclamation, ran away from slavery in order to work with the North troops. But if you go from January 1st, 1863, to June 19th, 1865, that's 2.5 years. But if you go from when the Civil War ended, ironically, April 9th, which is one of our great ancestors' birthday, Paul Robeson, April 9th, 1865, till June 19th, 1865, it was 2 months after the Civil War was over, that the ancestors were still in slavery. And so these are some important points to understand about why Juneteenth becomes such a significant celebration. But I want to point out a couple of things. One is that for those of us who live in New Jersey, we should be clear about A, that slavery happened in New Jersey, B, Rutgers, Princeton, and all the institutions, many institutions have slave roots. And so we need to recognize the role that slavery played in the state. We need to recognize the fact that there's a bill pending in the New Jersey state legislature for there to be reparations in New Jersey. We need to be actively activating for it. And so we think about celebrating Juneteenth, we need to think about what the work we need to do. We need to think about the sacrifice that ancestors made during slavery. For the several hundred years that we were enslaved and never received any kind of compensation, we are due reparations. The other point that we need to really focus on is we go back to the 1967 rebellion that happened in Plainfield and Newark and different places around the country. There were police reform recommendations made then that have still not passed. New Jersey, unfortunately, has not passed any laws since our ancestor George Floyd died last year. So all the conversation about, we want to humanize, we want to make reforms, there has not been any legislation that passed. There are bills in the New Jersey legislature now that would end chokeholds, that would have civilian complaint review boards with subpoena power, that would make sure that when rogue cops get out of order, that they can be dismissed. We need to end qualified immunity. So I want us to think about the fact that as we're celebrating Juneteenth, technically the ending of slavery, another point that we need to think about is how many, that New Jersey has the sad distinction of having the highest disproportionate rate of people of color being incarcerated in any other state in the country. We also have a huge wealth gap. And so the reason for reparations is that we can try to close the wealth gap. So while we celebrate the ending of slavery and the freedom of people that happened in 1865, we have some work to do today. And so enjoy the moment, have some fun, but then let's get to work. Peace and power.
So that last rhythm that Sekou and I just played is called the cuckoo rhythm, and it is a West African rhythm that is a celebration type song that is used when people come together to celebrate. So it's a drum family, a drum community, and it takes more than the individual. It takes everybody coming together. And so that's why I feel like cuckoo rhythm is appropriate. So happy Juneteenth, everybody.
Introducing students of the Civic League of Greater New Brunswick to symbolize the breaking of the chains.
1, 2, 3.
Happy Juneteenth! Thank you to Dr. Epps and Mr. Sean Hewitt, Director of Youth Leadership from the Civic League. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. We hope you'll consider joining our branch. Adult memberships are $30. Youth memberships are $10. They are all annual.
Thank you to all of our performers and presenters today. If you'd like to support us and buy one of our Juneteenth shirts like we are wearing, you may purchase them through our website. All information about us and our future programs can be found at naacpmeab.com.
Closing us out are the performing group Los Cimarrones. So, happy Juneteenth!
Hi, my name is Reggie Johnson, and I'm president of the Metuchen-Edison area branch of the NAACP. This afternoon, I'm proud to announce that Nelson Baez and his group will be performing. And Nelson, explain a little bit about your group and what you'll be doing today.
Well, first of all, Reggie, thank you for inviting us. Thank you to NAACP for having us a part of this momentous event. The first time in New Jersey, national holiday, Juneteenth, and we're really proud to be here. A little bit about us, we're made up of people from all walks of life. We have a dentist, we have a pediatrician, we have a bunch of school teachers, we have some retired people. We don't do this for a living, this is something that we do because we love it, okay? And we want to carry the tradition